Hello, my name is Deandra Brown, and number N01151158. And I'll be answering these series of questions, approximately four, which you have provided me with for this personal video essay. Starting with number one. Many students look for careers in which they can help others and make a difference in their lives. A number of fields offer opportunities to fulfill that need, such as nursing, psychology, physical therapy, and teaching. Please explain what distinguishes occupational therapy from other helping professions that you know about. My major in undergraduate was athletic training, and my minor was in psychology. With athletic training being my major, it allowed me to see a lot of different fields pertaining to helping others that were very similar to athletic training. So I decided to do my own personal research to figure out the differences between these, such as athletic training, occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, music therapy, any type of therapy. I looked it up. With that being said, I decided to focus more on researching about musical therapy, physical therapy, and occupational therapy. Being that I was already in athletic training, I didn't feel the need to do any additional research because I was getting all of that information from my professors. So I began to look at music therapy. Didn't do an internship, just researched it initially. And I figured it wasn't something I was interested in as much as I love music. It did not it didn't fulfill what I thought. It just wasn't what I thought it was, so I moved on. Then I looked up physical therapy, and then based on my research, I liked what physical therapy stated. So then I decided to do an internship over the summer when I had went back home to New York. I didn't love it. I liked it. And if it's something that I'm going to do for the rest of my life, I better love it. And with that, I decided physical therapy was not for me. Then I decided to look up occupational therapy. Occupational therapy, I liked what I saw, and from there, I decided to do internships with that. Loved it, so it has to be the one. From there, after my internships, I decided, you know what, this is definitely where I want to be and what I want to do. What I liked so much about it, what distinguished it from the other things, including athletic training, was the chronic rehabilitation. It took like such a longer time to get from step A to step B. And what I liked about that was the relationship and the rapport that you build with that client. No matter the population, whether it was a child, an athlete, an adult, a geriatric patient, it just really allowed you to build a relationship with them despite any other differences, age, race, religion. It just allowed you to build a great relationship with that patient. And I liked how drastic the change you would be making was. Like, the end goal was major. It wasn't, oh, let me get you back on the basketball court for the game next week, which I saw often, obviously, in an athletic training major. It was more so, let me get you back to taking that first step so you can learn how to walk again. Let me get you to brush your teeth on your own. Let me get you to eat food without having assistance, take a shower without assistance, put clothes on without assistance. And those are day-to-day things that people take for granted every single day. People don't know what they have until it's no longer there. And I like that the rehab and OT would be a major life change. And I had psychology as my minor, which I knew would eventually play off somehow, no matter what I did with my life, because psychology is something that is in your life every single day, no matter who you're dealing with, a family member, a coworker, a classmate, your patient. Psychology helps you understand the mind, and that minor, even though it's a minor, it helps me to understand a lot of people. And I love that I made it my minor. It's not something I wanted to do with my life, but having that as a minor was definitely one of the greatest decisions ever. Number two, what are the factors that led you to believe that Nova Southeastern University was the right place for your occupational therapy education? My undergraduate experience was at Nova Southeastern University. And the reason I chose Nova in the first place, based off of the internet, was definitely because of the classroom sizes. Once I saw that, I knew it was a winner. That probably shouldn't have been my first reasoning, but it was, followed by the athletic training program being very new. Once I attended Nova, I had the greatest experience. The professors were great. They really care about the well being of the students and the outcome for me, what I want, what I believe in, what I love. And I love that so much because I was able to build relationships with all of my professors. And even people who weren't my professors, such as deans of dual admissions, deans of student activities, the staff was just so friendly and they overall cared about every single student that walked through those doors. I also did the backstage pass for MOT at Nova once I decided occupational therapy was something that I wanted to do, and I had a blast doing that. We shadowed students, went to their classes, and even though I had no idea what was going on in that classroom, educational wise, I felt like I was a part of it and I loved it. And when a feeling like that, that's when you know you belong somewhere. I also was able to ask them a lot of questions regarding the program as well as their personal lives, and it was just great. It was really a great experience overall. And the internships, knowledge, and skills that I did acquire during my undergraduate years led me to believe that, yeah, I can definitely have the same experience at the grad level, and that strengthened my decision for choosing NSU MOT program. Definitely. Okay, number 3. Please describe a situation where you found yourself being asked to do something that conflicted with your own values. What did you do in this situation? When I initially read that question, I was going to say I have never had a situation where I've been asked to do something that conflicted with my own values. But then I decided maybe I have because I couldn't have lived for 22 years and not had a situation such as that. So as I began to think about it more and more, I realized I did have a situation. Not as serious, but it still answers the question. So, with that being said, as you know, in athletic training, we have practicals every semester, whether it's modalities, rehab, upper extremity eval, lower body eval, first aid eval, you name it, we had it. And one thing that the professors ask of us not to do is to discuss the materials that we have on the practical because we each have time slots. Like I go at 3:15, the next person 3:30, and so on. As I was leaving my practical, one of my very close friends asked me, because her time is coming up, what was on the practical so she can maybe hurry up and look over that specifically. And I was very hesitant at first because this is a very close friend of mine and I didn't want there to be any turmoil or problems as the school year continued. So I said to her not to worry about anything. She will definitely be equipped for this practical because if I felt like I was okay, I knew she would be okay because we've both been studying together for this practical. Luckily, she didn't take that in any sort of way and it went over well. But realizing now, at the time I did it, now I realized I was putting my values precedent over that situation, integrity and honesty, because we were asked not to, and I decided, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna abide by what the professor asks. And luckily, we both passed, yay. And everything was fine with us, and I also stayed true to my values because when people have values, they have that for a reason. So I definitely stay true to my values. And that's the closest I can come to having a conflict of somebody asking me to do something and it conflicting with my own values. I know maybe I should have had other ones in terms of internships and stuff, but fortunately I have not had any. So that's the closest that I have to a situation. Okay. Number 4. You are a fieldwork student just finishing a busy day at a clinic and sitting down to document your interventions. A coworker runs in and tells you that she is behind and asks if you can take 2 additional patients, as she is meeting her boyfriend for dinner. Your fieldwork supervisor has emphasized that it is important to finish your documentation for your patients before you leave. What would you do? Please explain your rationale. Well, I believe that every situation varies. No 2 situations provide the same response. With that being said, I feel like this question is based on organization and time management. If I have enough time in that day, I will definitely take my coworkers to patients. Why not? take the 2 patients, and then I'll finish my documentation since my field worker said it must be finished before the night is over. If there's not enough time for whatever reason, I will definitely say, sorry, I can't take your 2 patients. I have to finish my documentation. So I definitely believe, the situation varies. It depends on the day, the time, how busy we are, how busy I am. And that's that. My name is Deandra Brown, and number N01151158. And I really appreciate you guys selecting me to do this personal video essay. Have a good day.